Hey. Hello everyone. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be TTC Journey Godly Encouragement. I'm still going to be doing the live pregnancy test. I'm still going to be taking you on the journey of trying to conceive for baby number 2. In between, I would like to give some godly encouragement to a woman that may be on the same journey as me, a TTC journey, or to someone who may not be on this TTC journey but may need encouragement in their waiting season. If you would like to grab your Bibles, turn to 1 Samuel chapter 1. We are going to be talking about Hannah. Now, y'all, I'm going to be giving you the microwave version of this story. And so, yeah. So there was a man named Elkanah. He had 2 wives. Not 4. He had 2 wives. One name was Peninnah and one name was Hannah. Hannah didn't have any children. Peninnah had children. Every year, Elkanah would go down to Shiloh to, give a sacrifice. He would give Peninnah, the one that had children, part of the portion of the meat. He would give Hannah, the one that had no children, a double portion of the meat because he just felt bad that she couldn't conceive. Peninnah seen that Elkanah would give Hannah a double portion and she got jealous because of course that showed, that Elkanah loved Hannah more. So Peninnah would just say mean, hateful things to Hannah, make her feel unworthy because, she couldn't conceive. And she would just be really, really mean to Hannah and just make her feel like just crap, basically.
It's not funny. Get out if you're going to continue to laugh and make fun of me. I'm tired of it.
Because she didn't have any children. And so one day, Elkanah and his wives went down to Shiloh to make their sacrifice. So they were eating and they were drinking, and there was also the priest Eli there. Hannah just got to this point where she just got so over the edge, and she just was like, God, man, I'm pouring my heart out to you. Like, I'm gonna make this promise to you. If you just give me a son, like, I will dedicate him back to you. Like, she made God a promise. So she made a vow in 1 Samuel 1 verse 11, and she said, Lord Almighty, if you would only look at your servant's misery and remember me and not forget your servant but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will ever be used on his head. She was actually praying to herself. She wasn't like really saying it out her mouth, but she was like kind of praying inside to God. Eli the priest, he thought that she was drunk, basically. He was observing her mouth. He thought that she was drunk because they had been drinking and eating. Hannah's like, no, I'm not drunk. Like, I'm pouring my heart out to God. And Eli's like, no, go in peace. Don't worry. God is going to grant you with what you want. And so early the next morning, so they worshiped, and then Elkanah and Hannah ended up doing the do, and they ended up conceiving a son, and they named him Samuel. So God actually heard Hannah and granted her what she wanted. Hannah said, once Samuel is, weaned off of my breast, like weaned off of me, and he can eat proper food, I am going to dedicate him back to you, God. Because you kept me a promise, you're faithful. I'm going to be faithful to my word. And so she ended up dedicating that son Samuel back to God. She dedicated him back. It's crazy because after she ended up giving that son back to God, God seen that she was faithful, and God ended up granting her with 3 more sons and a daughter. I wanted to share this story with you because it is so encouragement. God is not a respecter of person. God can do it for Hannah. He can do it for me. He can do it for you. Whatever you're asking for. One thing is, I realize that God hears me. Sometimes it feels like, when you're not getting what you want, it feels like God doesn't hear you. But Hannah sat there and she, cried out to God. And she wasn't even really saying it out loud, but she was talking to God on the most personal, real level. And God heard her. It just made me realize that, He hears me and He hears you as well. Also, Peninnah, the other wife, was making fun of Hannah for not, being able to conceive a child. Made me think about, like, when I see, other women around me, like, family members and friends that are conceiving. I feel like God hasn't heard me. I'm not a jealous type. If you conceive, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. But I'm not gonna lie, when you see other women conceive and you're still waiting on your blessing, sometimes you're like, God, what about me? I've been praying to you. I'm right here, God. It just made me realize that pain is only temporary. It doesn't last forever. It does not last forever. Joy will come, because joy came. Hannah ended up having 3 sons and a daughter after she had sacrificed, which shows that pain doesn't last forever and joy cometh in the morning. And then another thing it showed me is to surrender to the will of God, because everything, has its purpose. It's like through her pain and suffering, Samuel was born. A beautiful gift to her, but a beautiful gift dedicated back to God for a purpose. Basically, it revealed it's not about my timing, it's about God's timing. It's not about our timing, it's about God's timing. God has a purpose in everything, and He doesn't just want to give us what we want. He wants to teach us to surrender to His will and just to trust Him. I hope you enjoyed this TTC Journey Godly encouragement video. I really wanted to encourage someone because this story encouraged me. If you love these type of videos, make sure you drop a comment and let me know that you love it, okay? And like, comment, and subscribe. And anyways, be encouraged in the Lord. Peace.
If I can't have you,